In this video, we're going to be talking about prompt blocks. These are the Lego blocks that you use to construct high quality prompts. So let's dive into it. So we have a few basic and core prompts here. We have the tone block, the output formatting block, the formatting guidelines block, examples block, frameworks block, and then the primary block. So let's dive right into it. So this is a prompt that I use to write Twitter threads. So we have the primary block here. Please write a Twitter thread about topic. Imitate the structure, tone, formatting, and flow of the thread examples I provided below. Then we go into the formatting guidelines block. This is essentially how do you want the output to be formatted? What are the guidelines for it to think through as it's creating the output? So as you can see here, include a number at the start of each tweet. Make sure to put 2 paragraph breaks in between every line. Include 3 lines for each tweet. Use simple language. Don't use emojis. Avoid jargon. So these are just like, how do you want it to be formatted? Then you want to put the tone block. Deliver your output in a reflective tone. You can change this word with whatever tone you want. Then we have the frameworks block. So this is basically, if you're writing copy, you want to include various proven copywriting frameworks. So you can get these from books. In one of my videos, I talk about how to extract these frameworks from ebooks, and if you get different copywriting ebooks or courses, you can turn those into frameworks and put them into this frameworks block to determine how high quality the output is. Then we have I would argue the most important block here, which is the examples block. This is saying, here are examples of what I want you to make the output like. This is what it should look like when you create your output. So then I find like some of my favorite tweets, or rather threads, and I say, here is what high quality outputs look like. And then you can have your data block, right? So I don't have this on right now, but in the past I've said, like, use this data to create this prompt, right? And so these are just blocks that are going to go into every single tweet, right? Or rather every single prompt. And if you understand this, then you can pretty much start constructing whatever prompts you want. This is a Twitter thread, right? You could do it for a LinkedIn post, a Facebook post. The only thing that would change is that the best practices for Facebook or LinkedIn are different than these. The best practices for, maybe you want to change the tone, because the tone, you're like kind of speaking in a different way on each of these platforms. Maybe the copywriting framework that works well on Twitter doesn't necessarily work well on LinkedIn. The examples, obviously, you're going to want to pull examples. So one of the best practices that I recommend is create swipe files for each of the platforms that you use, right? So if you want to write high quality content for LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, you're going to want to keep a swipe file of all of the best practices for each of these platforms, because that is the content that you can add into these prompts, right? This is the raw data that you can add into the examples prompt block to increase the quality of the output. And so, for example, I've been building this swipe file of the best AI prompts. In creating these AI prompts, I'm putting together these swipe files, right? So we have, for example, the LinkedIn post swipe file, and I'm just putting together all of the best examples of prompts that I've found that are high quality, that are getting results, and then I could just go in here, click on this, and then add the text into here. Another thing to think about is, once you test them, you just want to iterate on them, right? So if we use a model like Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which I find gets really high results, really high quality results, I can say, boom, all right, so for some reason it's thinking we're talking about time management, maybe because I haven't set a topic. So please write a Twitter thread about the best mental models for high quality decision making, right? And then we're just gonna test it. And sometimes I have to go back and forth in between these models for it to get to trigger the new one. So mental models for high quality decision making. The map is not the territory. Inversion, second order thinking, Occam's razor, probabilistic thinking, opportunity cost. And you see how it's inputting it in the version of a Twitter thread it's taking this, like, this is a pretty high quality tweet, right? But then you look like, the formatting's not great. All right, so let me go back to the formatting guidelines. Sometimes you even just literally have to say the same thing twice. So sometimes I'll be like, 3, include at least 3 lines for each tweet, or rather, I don't want to do 2 3s. I'll do 10, and then I'll do 11. Like, it's whatever works. So now if I try it again, let's see what it does. See, now look at include 3 lines for every single tweet, and now it's much better formatting, right? And then sometimes what I've done in the past is, like, for every 3rd tweet, include a list or bullet points in your response. So the really cool thing about this is these are the blocks that work for the majority of prompts. And like, if I wanted to do a landing page, right, I'm going to use the same prompts. Like, let me generate a headline, right? I have the base prompt, the instructions, the examples, and it's going to be the same blocks for every single prompt. Write a webinar about this. Here's the examples. Here's the formatting guidelines, more examples, copywriting framework, right? So this is just things that you're going to test over time. It's going to be high quality, more high quality over time. Let me know if you found this helpful. Also, another thing is, if you want to get my swipe file, just send me a DM. I've just been building this over the last few weeks. I'm putting together all of the best tools for building AI systems, the best learning resources, and then all of the best prompts, prompt blocks, and I'm going to be separating this out based on, like, are you doing customer research? Do you want to create content? Do you want to turn your prompts into templates? Do you want to do best ideation, research, classifying? So I'm basically just going through all these different AI courses, documenting all of the prompts, testing them out, figuring out what works. And if you want this resource, just let me know. Drop a comment or a DM, and I'll send you over this Notion doc. So thank you so much for watching this video. Take care.